What's up, student athletes? Welcome back to my pod where I'm pushing positivity, purpose, and peace to all of y'all, okay? It doesn't matter what sport you play, I'm gonna help you adapt, adjust, and win. For this pod, we got an athletic trainer. She has trained at all levels, okay? D3, JUCO, D1, and currently she's an athletic trainer for the Harlem Globetrotters. If y'all don't know what that is, I would encourage you to look it up. Like, it's worth your while. Anyway, she has given us tips and tools on how to foster a healthy relationship with our athletic trainer and also what not to do, okay? Our athletic trainers are a huge part of our athletic and even academic success. We want to make sure we're doing the right things so we can help them help us. Whether you're a coach, trainer, or player, we are all in this space and we all need each other to win. This one is short and sweet. I know y'all gonna like it. Until next time, stay pushy. Okay, we are live. Oh my gosh, this is so dope. Everyone, welcome back to my pod where I am pushing positivity, purpose, and peace to all student athletes to help y'all adapt, adjust, and win. Today on this pod, we have a very special guest, Elizabeth Hernandez. Did I say it? Hernandez. Elizabeth
Yes.
Hernandez. Okay, she has been an athletic trainer at all different levels and currently a trainer for the Harlem Globetrotters, which is super dope. I don't know how many of us can say we've been a part of that space, but she is super awesome. One of the most genuine trainers that I've met, and I've had a lot of trainers in my athletic experience. Hard worker, straight to the point, is going to do what's best for you as an athlete. So I know, and I'm so glad she's on this pod today. Everyone, welcome Liz.
Thanks, Nia.
Yes, of course, of course. Yeah, so being an athletic trainer is tough, huh? Sometimes.
Yeah, it can be. It sure can.
It can be tough and it can be fun, but what I want to know is what made you want to be an athletic trainer?
So honestly, I didn't know athletic training existed until I got to college.
Mm,
I played sports since I was 5, but I went to small private schools, so never really had an athletic trainer, I guess, back in the day.
yeah.
But I was actually going to college to be an engineer. And after my first semester, I was just kind of like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to help people. I didn't want to be in a suit and tie, which is my, I guess, perspective of engineering at the time. And so I went to
Mm-hmm.
my school counselor, and I was just like, hey, I love helping people. I love sports. I didn't want to be a doctor. And she gave me a bunch of pamphlets, and PT was one of them. Athletic training was one of them. And I was like, what's athletic training? So I read the pamphlet and like loved the different, I guess, environments I could be in, and
Right.
the adaptability, the different adjustments. Because a girl gets bored easy, all right? Like, I don't think I could stay in the same spot for a really, really long time.
Mm,
And so I was just like, athletic training sounds great. Like, I guess with my first year in the program, you have to like observe. And after observing the first year, I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. I love it. I'm still
wow.
near sports and I get to help people. So,
Facts. And you guys get, I know when you were there, like, so what I didn't say either is that I had
mm-hmm,
you as an athletic trainer my first year
mm-hmm.
at Nevada. So we had each other for a year, right? Only
A year or two, somewhat, a year and a half, maybe.
a year
Yeah.
and a half. Um, you had a few teams that you were managing, no? How many teams were you managing?
Yes. So my main sports were like women's basketball and men's tennis, but I would
Mhm.
kind of help out and oversee with the interns. So from time to time, I would help out with men's basketball. Not that that was an
Right.
intern, but we help each other out. And then
Mhm.
every now and then I'll help out with volleyball or track and field.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So is it like as a trainer in college, is there kind of like an underlining standard that's not necessarily spoken that like we got to help each other out like when we're sick
Yeah.
or we're out?
I mean, I guess like other athletic trainers realize that, like life happens, people get
Right.
sick, family stuff comes up, and I'm hoping that if I help cover you, that when I need it, that you got my back too. And
That,
so that's just how I try to treat it because everyone
mhm.
needs a little help sometimes.
That's so
Yeah.
true. That
Hmm.
is so true. um what is the difference between a physical therapist and an
Mm-hmm.
athletic trainer?
In my opinion, a physical therapist, one, they get more schooling typically. So they have to go through a bachelor's degree and then they have to go to PT school, which can be anywhere between 2 to 3 years, given on their program. And I think more their focus is on rehab. I believe they know how to do some evaluations, but I don't think it's to the extent of it as an athletic trainer. And with an athletic trainer, you have to go through bachelor's degree, and now they're kind of pushing it towards where you have to get a master's degree now. But
Mm,
back then, I did a bachelor's degree, and I was certified once I passed my board test, I guess. But
right.
but athletic trainers, we do more like immediate. We can do more immediate care. We do
Mm,
evaluation. We do rehab as well. So it's kind of like a little bit of everything. Where I feel like PT's more rehab based, and maybe some evaluation when it comes to the rehab.
right, right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, with athletic trainers, it's more urgent things. Like you said,
Yes.
you're like trying to solve it right then and there so people can play. It's like a
Exactly.
different mindset. Like PT, it might
Yes.
be like, okay, you could take another week, you could take another
Yeah.
month. In college, it's like, no, what drugs? How much
Yeah.
Advil?
Are they able to play in the game this weekend? Yeah.
Seriously, seriously.
Mhm.
Like, how much drugs can we give them without their kidneys failing? Like, that's what I need to know.
Yeah, it can seem like that quite occasionally.
Right. That is so funny. And traveling too. I think that's cool. The athletic trainers get
Hmm.
to travel. Um,
Yes.
it's needed. And I think what people don't always know about athletic trainers is that you guys are like confidants to the athletes. Wouldn't
Hmm.
you say? Like, you're not just
Yeah.
treating us physically, but you're on the journey with us when we're recovering and when we're going
Hmm.
through an injury or when we're going through a rough time. How were you able to manage being there for athletes but not letting it like affect you to where you can't perform?
Well, I think I know what kind of helped was like me personally. Granted, it wasn't in my like I didn't play in college, and like it wasn't in my high school career. But like when in middle school, like I said, I loved playing sports. So like there was
Mm,
1 year where I couldn't play in eighth grade, and
mm.
so granted it's eighth grade, but back then it was everything to me. And so
Yeah.
I couldn't play basketball my eighth grade year, and I was gone for the whole season. So that was just like an emotional roller coaster for me. So like when I'm like working with these athletes that have maybe season ending careers or
Mm.
yeah, like it's just I go back to like my feeling of like when I was a kid. And I know and like y'all are basically a bunch of like no offense, y'all are a bunch of kids to me. Y'all are my kids.
Yeah.
Like I know
Yeah.
that hurts, and especially like in this higher more like competitive like oh shit, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like a competitive game or
Atmosphere.
like a thank you atmosphere, like I know
Mm.
that's gonna hurt, like especially if you're striving to play like your senior year, like that
Mhm.
hurts, that hurts. And so I get the I guess I'm empathetic to like those because I know that feeling in a sense. But
Right.
um, at the end of the day, like I know I'm there to get you better. So I guess that's why it didn't really affect me. So I was like, I gotta stay positive because if we're both like
Mhm.
crying about it, we're not gonna get anywhere. So I'm gonna
Seriously.
let you cry. I'm gonna let you mope and feel bad. But after a while, I'm like, all right, like we gotta get to work because we gotta get back on there, or at least get
Seriously.
back to like a daily living type situation. So.
Yes. Seriously. No, that's good. I know
Mhm.
I'd be like, Liz, my glute is tight. You would be getting your elbow. Like, you gotta
I
suck it
got
up.
you. Let's release it. Yeah.
You would always be like that. Like, this is gonna hurt, but you're gonna get
Hmm.
through it. Like, it's gonna
Oh
make you
yeah. Oh
through
yeah.
it. That is
Mhm.
so funny. What is like what is the most challenging thing about being an athletic trainer at Division 1 level?
Ooh. At Division 1 level, I think it was like the type of situations that I would get put in.
Mm,
So I feel for the athlete. There's like situations where something will happen to the athlete. I'd feel for them, and then you see the coach trying to like either push them to get better quicker, which is granted depending on the injury, right? It's all
right,
scenario based
right.
because some scenarios I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. But like there's other scenarios where I'm just like, dang, like this is tough. Like I wish I can give
Mm,
you more rest and stuff. And I try and advocate for that and fight for that as best as I can. And there's certain situations where I'm like, no, like this is like it has to be this way. And then there's
yeah.
other times where I'm like, okay, well, let's compromise. Let's like we're gonna limit some things and we'll do other stuff. But I guess like the main thing was just kind of like some of the scenarios that injuries that I would have to deal with, or some of then I guess one of the heartbreaking things would be like when y'all weren't even hurt like physically, but like
Mhm,
having to like I which I didn't mind. I would listen to like what was going on in y'all's lives, right? Y'all come talk
mhm.
to me and saying like, hey, like family issues, personal
Right.
issues. Like that was kind of tough to like hear sometimes. And granted, I will always be there for any of my athletes. Like I don't mind listening
Mhm.
to. It's just I feel like I wish I could do some more, like do more for you than like maybe just listening. But I know I
Yeah.
would like I'm just a big empath, so I would feel a lot of it.
No,
Yeah.
I am too. That's why I was asking,
Mm-hmm.
like, what did you do to create those boundaries for yourself? You know, because it can be tough. There's a lot going on at one time. And as
Mm-hmm.
trainers, you guys are kind of on both ends of the totem pole. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to please the coaches and you're also trying to keep and maintain a relationship with the players.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's not always black and white, like you were
No.
saying.
Yeah.
It's not. I've had trainers just throughout my career tell me like, "Hey, I know you're hurting, but your coach wants you to play." Or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
think overall we want to play as athletes. Not every athlete, but
Yeah.
most of the time we want to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it can just get really confusing when you have an athlete that wants to play, you have a trainer that wants you to play, but is like, I don't know if this will jack you up for life, or and then
Mm-hmm.
you got your coach that wants to win. So yeah, I can just see how that is tough.
Yeah.
Was it hard for you to be like confident in your decision sometimes?
I think at the end of the day, it was just like, so some, right, depending on the athlete, and some would like want to go play overseas, some want to go professional. And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, like I would keep their goals in mind, right? Like, and their life in mind. Like, I want to make sure at the end of the day, when you leave my care, we leave a university, like you're able to do the stuff that you want to do. Like I don't want you
Facts.
playing college ball and then okay, say if you want to go professional but it didn't work out fine, but I don't want you living like a normal life like in aches and pains and just like stuff that makes it a
Mm-hmm.
lot harder like on you. So
Yeah.
like so it was I guess easy to be like, hey, like no, we need to rest them or we need to do this because this can be detrimental to their health later in life. And
Right.
that's one thing. And that's one thing I try to always explain, like, hey, and it's easier for me, I guess, at the high school or middle school level, but at any level, I'm always like, I care about your life and your well being. I don't care about this certain game. And my job
Mm,
is to keep you healthy.
that's good.
Mm, yeah.
That's good. I feel like, I mean, really in life, but especially as
Mm-hmm.
athletic trainer, you can't really be a people pleaser.
Mm-mm. No, you try to be sometimes, but it doesn't work out
Right.
at the end. Someone's always going to be upset with you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for sure. And it's like, at least for me, I can go to sleep well at night knowing I did my best to do the right
Mm-hmm.
thing. Whether this
Yeah.
party was happy or that party was happy, like, I know that I'm doing the right thing, even though not everyone can see it right now. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It's one of those that hit you up like, thanks for not, for standing up for me. Seriously,
Yeah.
hindsight is 2020. So that's good. So what is the quickest way for a student athlete to lose athletic trainer's trust?
Uh, for me personally, it's lying. Do not lie to me. Tell me the truth. I know, I guess at the end of the day, for me and the way I operate, like if you tell me the truth, then we can work things out. Because I can know how something happened. Like if you hurt your wrist and it was at a party because you were drinking, messed up, or whatever,
Mm,
like at least I know how to kind of deal with that, as opposed to like you trying to tell a story. And a lot of people probably don't know like certain mechanisms of injuries, and they probably describe something else like they
Right.
did, and so I'm over here treating something differently or whatever. Or yeah, I don't know. I respect you enough to tell you the truth, especially if it's like you're asking me a question. I might tell you, hey, I don't know the answer to this, but I'm gonna find out. Like, let me research it for you. So I expect the
Right.
honesty from you and
Mm-hmm.
communication. Like, if I'm there
Yeah.
waiting for you at rehab on a weekend, on a day where I can just be home and relaxing, and you're not there, and we like scheduled for like 8 a.m. or whatever time, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
you don't show up, then I'm kind of like, all right, like I'm wasting my time. Don't make me waste my time.
Right. Seriously.
hmm
No, that's good. I think college, at least for me, it was, I
hmm
had a learning curve with communication. And you quickly find out, like, when you do
hmm
not communicate efficiently or effectively, people will lose
hmm
trust in you and you're not going to
Oh
get the same
yeah.
resources or even care. Like, everyone's a human in this realm. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So it's like, if you keep blowing me off or you keep not coming to treatment and I'm taking time out of my day,
hmm
yeah, I may not do that extra tape wrap that you need on your ankle. I might just let you go out there. no, but no, but that's good. I'm glad you said that because I think I'll speak for myself as a student athlete.
hmm
We, you can kind of get consumed with just yourself. Like
hmm
what you got going on? What's urgent for you? Oh, Liz, I need
Yeah.
you right now at 10:30 p.m. I know you said treatment was over at 10, but I was on my phone FaceTiming my boo and I need the ice because my coach is gonna give me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's important for us to realize like there's more to this space than just what we got going on. Like we
hmm
are the stars of the show, I guess, but we're not the only people
Yeah.
involved, you know?
Yeah. The other thing I would like to add is accountability. Like, if you slept
Mhm.
in, then tell me, like, hey, I slept in. I'm so sorry. How can I make it up? Or at least own up to it. Because if you tell me something else and I find out, yeah, like, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
Mm,
Or own up to, like, oh,
seriously.
I'm so sorry. I forgot this. And if it becomes a pattern, then, okay, well, what do we need to work on for you to not make this same mistake over and over again?
Seriously. Seriously.
hmm
And anybody watching this, like your athletic trainers, they got your back. You don't want to
hmm
cross your athletic trainer.
No, no, you don't.
You
No, because
don't.
we're there for fight for you.
Yes, exactly. That's so true. You do not want to like that is a beautiful bond and there's so much time that we spend together. Like
hmm
before the game, before practice, after
hmm
practice, there's so much time and it's just much easier if we tell the truth and we
hmm
communicate and we're honest so we can grow and not lie.
Yes.
Lying
Yeah.
is never the key. It's never the key.
No, it's not. Because we'll find out eventually. At some point, we'll
Seriously,
find out. Yeah.
seriously, somebody's gonna post a snap or somebody's
hmm
gonna just be chatting and the
hmm
trainer's gonna be like, what was that? So it
They did what now? Yep.
right. Like, they told me they was over here.
hmm
That is so true. Oh my gosh. That is so true. What is one of your best memories as a trainer?
Best memories. Oh, shoot. I guess, well, it would have to be like, I have great memories at every location I've been to.
Yeah.
But the best memory is gonna have to be with the Globetrotters because
Mhm.
I got to see some cool places. I've been to Dubai. I never thought I'd be there before.
Wow.
And I think that setting's a little different because we're all adults and
Hmm. Mhm.
and we're on the road together. So it's like we're traveling as a family, and that's if you don't get along with your family, right? Like, yeah, I guess you could take some time and take a break and like walk away, but there was really nowhere to walk away from because we're traveling together for four or
Mhm.
5 months at a time. So we would fight every now and then towards the end of tour, but the memories I made with those guys and some of the females there, like, oh my goodness, it was
Wow.
phenomenal. Great memories, just
Mhm.
stories.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sure, because they've been all over the world too, and they all
Mhm.
each have a unique background and upbringing.
Mhm.
I'm sure you're just learning so much.
Yeah, but if you want one specifically, um, I guess I was in France, and I guess the promoter we had, they took us to a burlesque show for
Mm-hmm.
free. So we got to go. We had food, we had drinks, we watched this awesome show that was in like English and French. And at the end of it, we took a picture, we hung out, we went backstage and met the people. It ended up in a song. We were all singing I Will Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. And we were
Wow.
dancing. And at the end of it, like a couple of us got scooters and rode the scooters by the water and to the Eiffel Tower at night where it was lit up. So like that's just like little memories like that I'm gonna keep in my head
Wow,
with those guys.
that's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope. The
Mm-hmm.
relationships that get developed because of sports is
Mm-hmm.
amazing to me.
Exactly. No, yeah. It's
They're lifelong most of the time.
yes.
Like it's a bond that you get to see people at their worst and their best
Mm-hmm.
in a short period of time.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing. What advice would you give other athletic trainers or people wanting to pursue
Ooh.
being
Wanting
athletic
to
trainers?
just athletic training. Um, it's long hours, or I guess it depends on the setting. It can be long hours, especially if you're in the college setting. Um, don't be afraid to ask for help. And
Mm,
hopefully the team that you have or the staff members that you have with you are willing to help you. And if they're not and it seems toxic, get out, because it's not worth it's not worth staying there, because that toxicity when it's can just do so much damage to you in the long run.
mm,
But like realize it's going to be long hours, the pay is not always going to be great, so hopefully you love what you're doing, because we're not compensated, in my opinion, the best way.
mm-hmm.
But I enjoy it. I still continue to do it, and I love like helping out people and making memories with everybody and sharing my stories, listening to y'all's stories. Like I just like getting to know people.
Yes, that's dope. That's dope. So if you like to get to know people and help and make people better,
Mm-hmm.
make memories, not
And you
get
love
rich,
sports.
athletic trainer, and you you love
Yeah.
sports. True, because you might get to be involved with a few
Mm-hmm.
over time. So that's dope. That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, I think this was a good pod. You gave a
Perfect.
lot.
I'm
You were
glad.
you were very efficient in your answers, and I loved it.
I try to be. I try to be.
Right, right. No, I loved it. This was so good, Liz. Thank you so much for
No, no
being willing to
problem.
share your story and to give some tips and some tricks to trainers and athletes to help us thrive in this space.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I appreciate you. Well, that's the end of this episode, y'all. Until next time.